Hello everybody, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the G.I. Joe retro figure Cover Girl. Now, she's an interesting pick for a retro figure due to the factor that this is actually the blonde version. So, what I'm going to be doing in this video is not only am I going to take a look at her, but I'm also going to compare her to the original G.I. Joe Classified Cover Girl figure as well. So, with that being said, thank you everybody for watching this video and roll that intro. So here she is in packaging. Now she's on the old school card back. So you got your choking hazard warning here, your age restriction, G.I. Joe. You get a picture of her running out of the standard flames. Now, I'm not too sure about this artwork. I'm not sure what I think of her face sculpt. It feels like it's a little off to me, but that just might be me. So you got this window here where you can see her and all her accessories. All right, come around here. You got her file card, which is really nice. Everybody that's part of this wave. And you got your legal underneath. So, all that being said, let's open her up and see what she's about. So here she is out of packaging. Let's start looking at her points of articulation. So the head does move. All right, you got a shoulder joint with a swivel. You got an elbow joint. And you do have a wrist joint. All right, we get this other arm up. You do have a joint right there underneath the breasts. And you also have a joint at the lower torso or the hips. All right, you do got a thigh joint here with a swivel. All right, you got a knee joint. You got a swivel at the top of the boot and an ankle joint. So everything seems to work pretty well on her. I don't have any issues with her joints. All right, get this foot back on there. So next, let's start looking at her finer details. So first off is the head sculpt. I'm not exactly sure how I feel about this. It looks off to me. I don't know. It's just something don't look right with this particular face. Maybe it's just me, but that's kind of looks off to me. So let's spin her around to this side. So you got this side view. And come around here. You have that side view. And back around to the front. Now her overall look is definitely from the original miniseries cartoon with the mass device. So she has that green jacket over a low cut shirt with green pants, and then she has brown and black boots. So you come around to this side here. You got your gun holster. You can see the brown padding on the boot, which looks really nice. Now when you bring this arm down, you can see there's some writing right there on that pocket. AFV. All right, come around to the back. All right, and then back around to this side. And then bring this arm down. You get some more writing on this shoulder. And back around to the front. So now let's start taking a look at her accessories. So first off, she has an alternate head. All right. Her ball cap here does say the Pit Garage. Now, for any of you who don't know, the Pit was actually the original G.I. Joe base in the comics. Before they came out with, the toy and what have you. It was actually an underground secret facilities. So that's what they're referring to when they get to the Pit. Now, I personally like this head sculpt better. It looks a little, I don't know. I like the face a little bit better on this one, to be honest with you. All right. Next up, she has two fists. One. 2. She comes with a pistol. All right, so here's her pistol. It does have a hole for a blast effect. All right. She has a wrench, which is blue. I guess to give it a more of a cartoon look. Same with her hammer here. Actually, I kind of really like the look of this hammer. This looks really nice. I do like that. And last but not least, she has the stock standard G.I. Joe rifle from the cartoons, just painted up a little bit nicer. So you got this really nice silver on there. I like that on the contrast with the black. And even you got like that, military color green on it as well. So I do like the overall look to this gun. So now we're going to see how well everything works with her. So first we're going to start out with the pistol and the wrench. All right. Hands are a little bit tight. All right, there that goes. Now let's try to get that finger in the trigger. All right, there we go. And now your wrench. All right. Fingers do move pretty easily, so it's easy to get enough to get these things in there. So both the pistol and the wrench fit fine in her hands. No issues. Take this pistol out of here. Lift the arm up. Goes right in here. So the pistol fits fine in there. No issues. Now the wrench actually goes on the back here. You move her head out of the way. There's a spot right here for it. It just drops right in there. No issues. And bring her back around this way. Let's do our hammer. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. I'd hammer in the evening. All over this land. Alright. So now she has a hammer, and I hate to say it, the sledgehammer with that face definitely gives her, serial killer vibes. But like, she's out to get somebody. Like terrorizing teenagers at a camp or something. Because yeah, that just looks disturbing. But anywho, now to the rifle. Alright, trying to get that finger in there. Making a little bit of work. Let's just wrap it. Alright, there we go. Finger. Add the finger. Alright. There we go. Alright, so it's a rifle, so it should be able to be held with 2 hands. Oh, it would have been. Alright, so there we go. She does have the rifle. Now the rifle also has a hole for a blast effect as well as the pistol. So if you want to add any of that to it, you can. Now let's swap out the head and hands. Oh! Alright, there goes the hair. Alright, that head went on pretty easily. Ooh, I thought it did. Fooled you. Alright. See about getting this head on here. There it goes. No. Not on. It keeps on sounding like it pops in. Alright, there it goes. Now it's on. Alright. So there's this hand here. And this hand there. Alright. So as you can see, all that swapped out very easily. No issues. So here's the original classified cover girl with the new retro one. As you can see, they're definitely two totally different figures. Not a lot of similarities to them. The two head sculpts are totally different. The jacket designs are totally different. The low-cut shirt looks pretty much the same. The pants are different, where the retro one has these tight green ones. She has looser base. Even the boots, like hers is more of a padding in the front, where hers is more of an armor. I mean, I could sit here and go through all the differences, but in a nutshell, these are definitely two different figures. Now, they're both capturing two different looks. So, the original classified figure has more of the look from the original toy line. So, the original figure that came with the Wolverine, that's what she looks like. She, captures that look pretty well. Where this one, like I said, they went more with the cartoon look with her to make her look more like how she did in the original Mass Effect cartoon episode, so 4-episode series. So they were definitely doing something totally different with this figure. So me personally, I'm kind of liking the original classified look, just because I did like the original figure a lot. I think that, she captures that look more than this one, but they also weren't going for that look with this figure. Okay, so let's get into my final thoughts with her. So first off, all her joints move very easily. No issues with any of that. All her weapons and body parts such as heads and hands swap out pretty easily. No issues with that. I do like her overall look. I think she's a good looking figure. So at the end of the day, would I recommend her? Yes, I would. I think for anybody who's a fan of the original G.I. Joe cartoon, the miniseries, I think she would be a great piece for you guys. The only thing I think I have any kind of issues with is two things. One, her original face sculpt just felt off to me. It felt more creepy than cute. Maybe that's just the way how I perceive it, but it just felt off to me. Two, I don't think she should be a retro figure. I think a remake of the original toy action figure similar to her would have been a better retro figure. I think she should have been part of the mass lineup for the classified. You have Breaker, you have Snake Eyes, the dive team and whatever. I think she would fit better with that group of figures opposed to the retro, because technically she isn't the retro figure. Retro figure would look more like her and less like her. But at the end of the day, I really do think she's a great figure. She looks really cool, especially this one here with the hat and her hair braided. I do like this head sculpt a lot better than the other one. So with that being said, I hope you guys did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my G.I. Joe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.